this is Kira Halcyon. Welcome to my channel, and we're going to be playing Darkest Dungeon.
Ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial.
No, don't do it.
It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
Great way to start this game. So, Darkest Dungeon is about making the most of a bad situation. Quests will fail or must be abandoned. Heroes will die, and when they die, they stay dead. Progress autosaves constantly, so actions are permanent. Game expects a lot out of you. How far will you push your adventures? How much are you willing to risk in your quest to restore the hamlet? What will you sacrifice to save the life of your favorite hero? Yeah, there's always going to be new people, too, from the stagecoach. So, I skipped reading that part because it advances on its own. Sometimes you can't read it fast enough. Alright, so this is not my first playthrough. I've done some other short ones, really just kind of get the hang of it. Alright, so go ahead and get rid of this test. And we're going to start a new one here. And the name of your campaign is also the name of the hamlet that you're in. So in case you forget who I am. Right. Yeah. The guy who was narrating earlier, he is like, I guess he's like a distant relative who has sent you that letter he was writing to basically get you to come back to this little hamlet and try to undo what he did. He is a narrator for the entire game. So it's interesting because he's going to be saying lots of things, but he's already dead, so he's basically sort of like, you read his tale, and you're sort of like recalling his words back to yourself during the encounters. I really like the voice actor that they chose for this. It fits the setting very well. So let's go ahead and get started. There's going to be another little short thing that's going to do a little bit of a tutorial, and the tutorial is not gonna, like, it's not fixed in stone. The two characters you start with are, but I have seen people review this game and get absolutely murdered just in the tutorial, which is a really bad start to start with, because it leaves you with basically another two characters, and you really want to have 4 characters to start with. So if you're playing this tutorial that I'm about to start and you get wiped out, start a new game, because those first 2 characters, you're going to want them. Not because they're good, but because you don't want to be set back by losing 2 people. Alright, so I'm going to stop talking. And I'm going to try to give little game hints like that if I can. And I know I just said I would stop talking, but I'm going to keep talking. But I am not an expert. I have not beaten this game. I do know some things. I have made plenty of mistakes just in the 2 or 3 playthroughs I've already done. But they were not to the end. So here we go.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Alright, and here we are. And a tutorial here, of course, letting us know how the map works. We'll spot down here. And the torchlight symbol here, that kind of matches one up here, that's where the party is. This is pulsating to let us know that it's a choice for where we can go next. So like the spot we're in right now doesn't go anywhere, because these boxes are considered to be rooms. This is a path to a room.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
Alright, still love the voice acting. And it's just the one guy too, and he does such a good job. Alright, so we're gonna click here to move. Alright.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
Yeah, so yeah, this is a turn-based game. Positioning is also very important too, but it is primarily it's turn-based. Alright, so we got one guy, he's surprised, which means we're going to get a whole round to ourselves to basically beat him about. He has 15 hit points. And you can see his resistances down there. The one thing that I think plenty of people have pointed out already is that you don't get to see the turn order, so you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we do know that's a surprise round, so we get to go before him. Alright, so really we just want to kill him quickly. So we see that down there in the yellow text, I'm going to do 49 damage to him, assuming that I hit, because he does have the chance to dodge it, and I could just miss terribly. Yeah, so there's accuracy, there's dodge, and there's damage rolls. Alright, so let's make him bleed. This one causes extra damage on top of that, so... And it killed him outright, which is beautiful. Crits are awesome in this game.
Expedition at least promises success.
Because crits reduce everyone's stress. So if you've played like tabletop D&D, it is sort of that moment where you've been surrounded by demons, and the one character who, you know, is the guy who could never catch a softball or hit a ball to save his life, rolls a natural 20 and gets a crit, and everyone is like absolutely ecstatic. Well, that's kind of what happens. You crit, and everyone's stress goes down, and stress is going to play a big role in who you bring along, basically, because some people are going to get really stressed out during these missions. Alright, so then we come to finding interactive objects. Now, we're going to take a look very quickly at their particular quirks. Alright, this guy can't gamble when he's in town, and we haven't gotten to town yet, so I'm not going to talk about that yet. We're going to go back over here and look at him. He is a kleptomaniac. He is prone to stealing items. What this means is that should you walk past a interactive object and you do not open it, he may open it for you and suffer its effects. So I mean, this is just a standard interactive object. It does have the possibility of having like a poisoned item in there, or him to find something that could hurt him, and you get a choice of choosing who actually interacts with it. So I'm gonna take a look at excuse me, the resistances that they have. Excuse me. Look back at him. I typically have the highwaymen do it. Because this trap resistance only applies to actual traps, not sort of the unknowable things you could find stashed in these objects. But I'm going to let the kleptomaniac do it, because I don't want him just to do it on his own. Now this is where you get the option to put something in here. The game is not going to tell you what objects can go in these slots to possibly get a better thing to happen. I will tell you about the ones that I've already found out, because I've pretty much tried to open objects with anything that I have in my inventory just to see what happens. If we had something that was interactable with this, it would be highlighted in a way that would let you know that you can drag it. So we're just going to open it because we don't have anything. And
Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places.
Alright, so we got some money. That's good. We are going to take some stress because it's getting dark. This is the light bar. It's going to go down over time as we move around.
An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
Alright, so this is the fight where some people die horribly, because this is the end of the tutorial, and these guys are going to really wallop you sometimes. This range guy is in the back. He's gonna hit you with either an AoE or a single target high damage attack. This guy here is gonna do a lot of bleeds, lots of damage over time attacks. He's also a large character, which means he actually takes up 2 spots. So now we're gonna talk about positioning now, because it's gonna come up later, but might as well talk about it now because he's actually one of these larger characters who takes up 2 slots. So when you look over buttons here, you're going to see that there's these little dots in the tooltip. The yellow dots let you know which position your character has to be in for this ability to work. The red dots tell you which who is targetable by this on the enemy side. So the open vein ability, you have to be in the first 3 columns. And it can only hit someone who's in the first 2 columns on the right side of the screen. He takes up 2 slots, so that's why he's not even highlighted when this is clicked on. Now, my usual strategy for this particular one is if we had surprised them, I would have buffed both these characters on their surprise turn, but we didn't. So instead, what I'm going to try to do is focus on killing this guy, because he is low hit point, high damage. It's burst damage that happens immediately. We can't hit him with this, but we can shoot him. We got a good hit, that's half his health. Alright. And now we're gonna get the bleed from this guy, which one man resisted, which is good. And here comes blanket fire, which I told you about. Alright, so now we get to the Crusader. We get to see him shine with his abilities. So this guy's got 35 hit points still. And because he takes up those first 2 rows, he's the only target I really have. I could do Bulwark of Faith, but I feel like that would waste the Crusader's turn. So right now I'm going to have him just hack into this man. Although actually, now that I think about this, try stunning him. Let's do that instead. It hit, and it stunned him. That's good. Alright. Now hopefully we get another good roll with this one. I only got a 3. Okay, he lost his turn, which is the great thing about stun. Okay, let's do that again. He resisted that time though, so that's not good for us. Please don't crit. Okay. Whew. So the thing about this game is that you're going to be kind of for some of these fights, assuming you get really bad rolls, even if you do everything right, you may likely be at like kind of on the edge of your seat, because you're going to be so hoping for crits to happen and for it to not happen when the enemy attacks you.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Single target bleed. Okay. We're doing good so far. Now we can really lay into this guy. Here we go. Okay, so do we want to do this? It's 4 to 9 damage. To hit is 85%. This is 80. Chance of crit is higher. 3 to 8. See, this is one of those decisions, right? Which is better? They seem almost equal, but the crit chance seems so much better for this. So let's see what happens. Nope, did a 3. So the possibility of bleeding would probably been better. And he had his own gun too, I forgot about that. Which pushes people back. So try stunning him again. He resisted, not good. Should have gone for the swipe, or the smite. Now, hit him for 6, and he's gonna bleed. Bleeding damage for that is only like 2 per round, but this will hopefully finish him, and it does.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
He got the last hit, so he got a little stress reduction. You're gonna see some characters get that at the end of fights. Sometimes if you're really trying to manage stress because you got one guy who's like at the edge, you might want to try to make it so he's the guy who gets the last hit. And that's the end of that. Don't forget chests. I have forgotten about these sometimes. So I was like, oh, quest complete, click that, and totally miss out on this treasure. So now you see I have this option to use the torch. So let's see what happens. And the texture will kind of let you know what's going on. It might tell you it's locked, in which case what will happen is if without a key, your hero is just going to bash it. So we're going to try using a torch and see what happens. And it had no effect. So you know now, don't ever use a torch on one of these chests, because I just did it for you. And it's trapped. And I got blighted. But it doesn't matter because we're at the end. That loot now. That's what we're after, right? Okay, so something's gonna, like when this shows up, it means something's gonna change about Reynold. He's gonna gain either an advantage or a disadvantage. It's a quirk. Okay, this is not good. He's got Night Owl, which means that he gets extra speed when light falls below 25. So he actually likes doing things in the dark. Lockjaw. This is not good. The only way to get rid of stuff like this is with the sanitarium when we get to the hammer, which I'm going to show you next, but it won't be unlocked yet.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
Alright, so, this is basically the after action report. You can always look at this when you're in town. It's this little scroll right here. There's 2 sections, one to show you what your goals are. So here's all the bosses basically that you're going to be encountering. And here's roster goals. This is your roster, and really this is just trying to get each different class of character to level 6. Alright, so here shows what happened. If they had died, you'd see that they had died here. This is also after a quest is when time advances, and that's measured in weeks. And yeah, we've got the press H for help tools, basically. Alright, so they have low stress, see? So, we don't need to put them anywhere to lower their stress, which is good, because we actually need to form a party of 4. We're do that by going to the stagecoach.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear.
Alright. So, yes. There's going to be 2 characters in here. When you start the game, once you make it to this point. And I believe they're always going to be a Plague Doctor and a Vestal, which is basically a healer and a ranged DOT character. And then yes, it recommends that you upgrade the stagecoach, which I would also recommend, because you pretty much always want to bring a party of 4 with you. So you're going to want to upgrade this stagecoach so that the next time you come back to the stagecoach after this quest, you're going to have 4 new characters to choose from. And then after that, you're going to want to upgrade how many people you can have in your roster. So go ahead and grab Harcourt. Alright, so this guy, he's a fast healer. We're probably not going to get around to a mission that has camping in it, but that would help him whenever he camps. Alright, he cannot pray, and he has a problem with monsters. Oh, lovely. Okay, he's got the blinding gas. This guy's going to be very useful for a while because it is a 2-target rear column stun attack. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it will stun them. Actually, it does 0 damage because damage mod is minus 100%. And I believe that just means it's reduced to doing 1 damage. So yes, put this guy on our side.
What better laboratory than the blood-soaked battlefield?
Alright, this lady is a healer. She has issues with humans. She's obsessed with food. This is going to mean that anytime you're hungry, she is probably going to be eating quite a bit of food. And that's why when we get to the next mission, we're going to see how much we need to take with us. Now this is interesting. She's got the back column healing abilities. One's a party heal and one's a single target heal. And then she's got this one here that's a ranged attack that lowers a target's dodge. But then Hand of Light, she has to be in the first 2 columns. So this will be good for her if the enemy uses an ability that moves her around. And you're going to see that happen probably. Maybe not in this playthrough, but probably the next episode that I do of this. Alright. So
a sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and upgrade the stagecoach network, like I said, so we can have 4 new heroes when we come back. Alright, so that means when we come back next time it'll be 3, and then again.
Great heroes can be found even here, in the mud and rain.
If we play properly and keep our stress low, we shouldn't have to do this upgrade yet, which increases the size of the roster, so we're not going to spend this. Also notice that once you click that button, there is no undo, and once you've done that, the game saves. So I'm going to be really sure about what you're doing when you click these buttons. And here's where the graveyard is, just letting you know that it's open, but no one's died.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion.
Wow. It's a gothic story, but without the silly romance. Alright, so since we're still at the beginning, none of this stuff is really open. So. Alright. Strategies I've seen for how to upgrade these things is you want to do the blacksmith first, and then the guild, but it's going to be probably a couple of episodes in before we get to that. So let's go ahead and do...
A mecca of madness and morbidity. Your work begins.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do the first quest here. First real... It's not really a full length, it's considered to be short, and this is over here is going to tell you how long it is, just to give you an idea of how much stuff you're going to want to bring with you. This lets you know that there's going to be no camping. camping is really great later on because it gives you an opportunity to heal everybody in the party and to lower stress and give buffs to everyone. Alright, so now we're going to be choosing the order that people are going to be going in this dungeon. Reynald, as you saw, really only has abilities that work well in those first two positions. Okay. Dismas, same kind of thing, he's in the middle. Also, there's these little checks here, you see? So you can turn abilities on and off, because you see he's got 3 other abilities that we don't have unlocked. That later on you'll be able to purchase in the guild hall and even upgrade these. Camping skills is done at the survivalist, which is a different area entirely, and that's going to happen later. And then it'll also show you like what it actually affects. So, I'm put him right here. Now we saw that this guy is really good in the rear, but then he can use this stabbing bleed attack, but he's got to be in this spot here, and this one can be used anywhere. And this is nice because it forces whoever you hit with to move around. That's what that shuffle single on the target effect means. Alright, go back to her. So this is interesting in that we're going to have to decide, based upon this current layout of their abilities, who's going to go in these 2 spots. It's going to totally change how they play. So we need the healing. But this minus dodge and torch, so I'm deciding to put her here, and we're going to put him in the back. Alright, now this is the next step.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
Alright, so the game designers recommend that for the first quest you bring 8 food and 4 torches, and that is probably good. You're not really going to use food to heal your people so much. You're really going to be healing yourself while you're in combat. You're always going to want some kind of a healer, and you're going to want to do some kind of a stunning attack to give yourself some time to put some heals in. That's a legitimate strategy. You basically try to stun lock the enemy and heal yourself if you are in dire need of healing. Because food is only going to heal you for like 1, maybe 2 hit points. And torches, that's going to be increasing light. There are strategies where you play through the dungeon with it dark. I have tried doing that, but I tried doing it at lower levels, and it was really hard. So try to get some experience in you first, and better gear before you try doing dungeons without any torches. Now, there's a couple of things that this first little tutorial did not tell you about, and that's these other items that are also really useful on even this very first dungeon. So we're going to go ahead and bring the 8 recommended food. The maximum stack of food you can have is 12, and I would recommend bringing that for a medium-sized dungeon. We may not even use all this. 4 should be good for a short dungeon. Now, these other items are just as equally as important. This first dungeon, you want to bring 1 shovel, and you see here it's used to clear obstacles and break into things. The shovel is really important for the wall of bodies and rubble obstacles, because if you don't have a shovel, your people have to dig with their hands, and it will give them probably about like 50 points of stress. And they may also take hit point damage. Your torch is also going to run out while they dig, because it's going to advance time. So bring a shovel. You might want to bring a shovel pretty much every time you go into any of these dungeons. For some of the longer ones, bring 2, bring 3 shovels. Now, the other items here. This one's going to counter being poisoned, which is basically the blight effect. There are abilities that characters have that make this basically pointless. Also, blight tends to do maybe like 1 point of damage for each tick, and it only ticks maybe 2 or 3 times. So if you don't need to spend the money, don't bleeding is going to happen quite a bit too, but there are ways around it that don't involve you getting bandages. Also, you're going to find these kinds of items while you're questing. Medicinal herbs, I have not yet found a lot of uses for this, but it should aid with some of the more detrimental quirks that you can get, such as Lockjaw and possibly Syphilis. And yeah, I know that sounds funny, but yeah, you can get those things. I'm pretty sure Syphilis you get for putting a character in the brothel, but we'll see that happen later probably. Keys are great. I haven't found a locked door yet that I needed a key for, but certainly found chests that needed keys. So I'm gonna grab one of those. Holy water. This is the one that I overlooked for a while on my earlier playthroughs. You want to take one of these in the case that you might find an urn. Now, the other strategy I talked about, which is the one where you just don't bother with increasing your light level by carrying more torches, it means that you don't even need to spend money on holy water, because what's going to happen is when your torch level goes down, the possibility of you finding better loot goes up, because holy water is mostly used to clean urns or to purify things that say in their flavor text that they've been tainted or that are evil. Using the holy water is going to let you open it without any detrimental effect and possibly get you better stuff out of it. So we'll carry one of those and see if anything pops up. And we're ready to go. So you saw how much money that cost. We were starting at like 5,775, I think. Some of the other Let's Plays and helpful like hints and tips that I've seen say that you always want to hold on to about 3,000 gold after spending it everywhere else, so that when you get to this screen you have enough money to buy food, provisions for going on the quest. That is totally what you should do. One playthrough I messed up royally and spent a lot of money on reducing stress on people, upgrading abilities, and I didn't have any money to buy torches or food. People starved, they didn't have shovels to dig with, their stress level maxed out. I ended up with a Crusader who became hopeless and basically just wanted to kill himself in battle over and over again. It was funny, but it could have been avoided. So try to hold on to about 3,000 gold so that when you get to this screen here, you've got enough money to buy stuff. So let's go ahead and go.
The fiends must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
Alright. So, this is a skirmish. That means we need to complete 100% of the room battles. Alright, so as before, like I said, these are the rooms. Okay? So, we don't know what's in this room. It could have a battle in it, or it could have nothing in it. I don't want to take the chance of having to go all the way through here to find out that there's a battle in this room that I should have done. So we're going to go ahead and go north first. And we've been surprised. This is not good. They're going to get a free shot on everybody. Alrighty. Not doing good. My highwayman, I'm going to leave him where he is right now. So, we need to hurt these guys back for what they did to us. They got to jump on us, let's cut them. That's a good cut. Alright. And made him bleed. Alright. She's in the back. Alright, she's got a range ability. And it's going to do 2 to 5. This guy's got 12 hit points. Or she has 12 hit points. Let's shift everyone up by killing this guy. Good. Very good.
Give them no quarter.
Alright. So, shuffle them around, cut somebody, or make someone burn. Which one does more damage? 4 to 7? 2 to 4. Alright. This guy makes people bleed. This one increases stress. Let's kill the Acolyte. got her to bleed. Wonderful. Reynold is useless in the back, so he needs to move up. Ugh. Alright. But not bleeding. And pulls her forward. Alright. This is not good. Basically made it so that Reynold is still going to be useless this entire fight. Ugh. Alright, need to kill this lady. Ugh, that is not good, dude. Come on. End her miserable existence, Dismas, or I'm going to feed you to someone else. Thank you.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Yes. And good, you see how
Well
they reduce their
struck.
stress. Oh, this is wonderful because she's in the front row. She gets Hand of Light. So, see how it does more damage to Unholy? Yeah, I wish these guys were Unholy. They usually come in groups with these other dudes that are Unholy because they're undead. Nah, he's a cultist. He's just human. So this won't do extra damage, but it will lower his damage and his accuracy. So let's hope it hits. And it does. Wonderful. Please crit this motherfucker. Oh. Alright. He's almost dead though. And he got me back. And made me bleed. Oh. End him. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you just get really bad rolls. Alright. This guy's gonna be dead on his next turn, so instead of killing him, take the opportunity to heal people. So, Dismas and, I forgot what his name was already. His name? Harcourt, yeah. So I could do a single target heal or a party heal. I'm gonna do a party heal. Okay. So, like I said, this guy's probably gonna die from the bleeding. So. And then he dies.
A victory. Perhaps a turning point.
Just want to give myself the chance to possibly heal again, but it didn't happen, so. Alright. Oh, yeah. First things first. Let's fix the party order. That's where we wanted everybody, right? That incision wasn't as good as I thought it would be. His base damage is 4 to 7. Alright. A stack of books. So you see how it gives the option here? So, books are sometimes going to have things that are going to just creep out your characters. We don't want to use anything on it, so let's see what happens. And he's going to take stress now. Alright, so the light level's starting to fall down. Go ahead and put it back up again. Ah, an alchemy table. Now, this is something that I haven't tried every item on, but I know torches actually, well, that'll improve our light level. If you use a torch, the alchemy will actually improve your light level, but we've already got it at a pretty good point. So I'm curious. What happens if you use holy water on it? Nothing. Alright, so that kind of sucked. I'm not going to waste a shovel or the key on it. So. Oh. I got some money out of it. That works. And there's no battle here, which just figures. Alright, so now we gotta move back. That's the other bad thing about having to retreat like this through areas you've already been through is, of course, every time you move, time advances. You lose your light level from your torch, and you have to use more resources. And these dungeons are all random. Ooh. Oh, wonderful. We surprised them. Okay. So, So I'm going to talk to you about characters that do low damage and high stress, and that's these jerks here. They sit in the back with their little dagger and their goblet of blood or whatever it is. The blood wine, the tempting goblet. Yeah, it does like 1 to 3 damage, and then it does like 17 to 22 stress. And your stress is measured from, 0 to 100. So, and these guys tend to sit back here and do that every turn that they can. And they tend to focus on one character who's already got high stress. I like to kill them first, if I can. But we've got some damage we need to take care of, so we're going to do that first. Now, let's see, this one will hit 3 people. This one will be able to hit them in the back. This one only cuts the guys in the front. So, let's try shooting. Not good. Good. Now, let's see if we can stun them. So not good. Oh my god, I'm getting a wasted turn, pretty much. Alright. Now, these guys are unholy. 8, 10. I'm gonna use Zilla's accusation, which hits both the guys in the first 2 columns. Wonderful. Reynald's earning his keep. And now, hopefully I'll get a good damage roll with the grape shot. No, so bad. And here comes the goblet. Yeah, 3 damage. 15, yeah, there you go. See, that's not good. So let's try to stun them again. No. Oh man. Okay, good, he dodged it. Oh. 19. Okay. It's gonna bleed too, right? No. Good. Alright. Everyone's been hit a little bit. Do a party heal. Good. Good. This should hopefully kill the 2 guys. Wonderful.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
So, now that these 2 guys have been forced into the front 2 columns, they can't use the goblets anymore. Now they have to use the daggers. And now, this should make them easier. Makes it easier on us, because stress is bad, because right early on you don't really have a way to mitigate stress damage. So, let's see if I can kill one outright. Nope. And he didn't bleed. And that's, these guys are undead, skeletons, and unholy. Their bleed resistance is 100%, so you can't make them bleed. But you can burn them with poison and acid. Yes. This guy's gonna die on his next turn, basically. Now we're gonna do another party heal, because we can. No reason to waste a chance. Now, let's see. Can we smite him? We can smite him. Alright, it's an unholy target. Hit this guy. Wonderful. He dies.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
Knife in the dark. Misses. Wonderful. And, he's got 1 hit point left. No, so I have a choice here. Take a chance on critting him and getting some stress undone, or basically taking aim, which is like doing nothing because this fight's over. And this is just a strategy. You could just steamroll through this. See, now I would either move this guy around or do this. So I think we'll be fine. Just go ahead and kill him. Or, miss because you're awful at dice rolls. But here we go. Party heal. Nice. And now Reynald's just going to end this guy. Or not. Or waste my time. Great. Wonderful. Okay. Alright. Alright. I'm basically done screwing with this guy now. Yeah, thank you.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Here's one of those locked cabinets. So, we're gonna use a key.
Wealth beyond measure. awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Now, I think if it had been trapped, it still would have made something bad happen, but we'll see. An empty bag, basically. Alright, it's getting dark again. I'm gonna fight in here. Alright, so now we've come to our first hunger pang here. So, you want to have enough food so you don't have to choose this. Because the 20% damage, like, you can undo that, but the stress, no. It's, unless you get abilities that can help you with it. So, food. Alright. And we're gonna get a free torch here, hopefully. Yes. Nice. Now, the heirlooms that you find are pretty much how you upgrade the buildings in the hamlet, so. Dungeons will have different assortments, and also having your light level up high means that when you get to one of these rooms that has nothing in it, the possibility of scouting will happen, so it'll let you know what's happening here. So looks like we have a trap and then some type of container. And there, this is great because light level, I think, also helps you with finding traps. So, Dismas, you're going to see, he's a highwayman. His trap resistance is 30%, and that will be the highest that you will have starting out. So we're going to choose him, and you just need to click on it. Wonderful. Switch back to the kleptomaniac. And he gets freaked out. For 25. Great. Okay, use that last torch now.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
In here, only 2 more rooms. Cool. Ugh.
Ancient traps lie in wait.
Yeah, no kidding.
Unsprung and thirsting for blood.
Love the dialogue. Oh, I got hungry again. Alright. That's the last of the food. Alright. Hopefully get through this before people start starving. Because that is really bad. And of course, the last fight is this last room. Ugh.
Cruel machinations spring to life.
No shit.
With a singular purpose.
Another unsettling passage. I need to choose someone else to open things. So, I have 2 characters right now that are pretty much going to be out of commission after this quest is over. So they don't die in this fight. And we're surprised. We're even worse. This is the reason why you keep your light level up high, so you can't get surprised like this. Alright. Heal. These guys are going to be the worst. Shield Bash. Which shifts and stuns. Which is a really good hit. And it's now made Reynold useless in this part of the fight now. The Arbalists are going to do a lot of damage if we let them just sit back there, so this is going to be my strategy for doing this. If you got a better one, by all means, you can put it in the comments or let me know about it, okay? Oh,
Obliterated.
Yes! Yes!
A singular strike.
Ooh, 3. Okay. Alright. Let's see if we have the possibility to shuffle this jerk around. Ooh, hit him. And it moved him up 1. Okay. He will not be able to shoot his crossbow anymore. Now he'll be stuck to having to stab us. Alright. Let's do target heal, which just at max. Wonderful. Now, can't make them bleed, but I can hit all 3 of them, so we're gonna try for that. Wonderful. Okay. Now, let's see if we can shuffle. Oh, you see, that's the thing here, right? You can only hit the last 3. This bleed's basically useless. Alright. So, let's move him back. Move him up. Okay. He's gonna knock me back again. Ah, but he misses. Yes! Good, good. Alright. Do party heal. Dismiss is in a bad position for shooting, so we're going to push him back 1. Yes. So, we have a choice here. Hit both of them with Zealous Accusation, which is going to do 3 to 7, or do the Smite attack, which has extra damage against Holy, so 6 to 13. I want to kill this Arbalist, but this guy's been pushing me around, so let's hope for a crit. Nope, no crit. But let's see. Maybe I can kill him with some blight. 2, 4. Nope, he dodged.
Oh, the tide turns.
Yeah. So get hit with a crit, take some stress, a lot of damage. Not good. That's what I'm saying, like, you can play smart, you can think this out, and then the AI will just get really lucky, get a good draw, good roll. So, let's try for, do a stun, but it's only do like 1 point of damage. I could cut somebody, but I won't do, I'll do 4 to 7. Gotta kill these guys. Alright. Single target heal. Well done. Okay. Please bust a cabin, everybody. Yes! Okay. Okay. This is the last fight. I'm not so much worried about damage or people dying. I'm more worried about taking more stress. Alright. They're pretty close to both dying. Let's hope Zealous Accusation takes these guys out. I want 7 damage on both of them. Come on. Yes! Alright. Could you end him, please? Thank you.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Yep. Alright. Sad thing is we don't have a key, but we can still bash it open. Ah, now this one's different. This one doesn't say it's locked, so this is just gonna have heirlooms in it. But I believe if you had a key, you would probably get more of these busts out of like a secret compartment that you open. Alright, so we're done.
More bones returned to rest. Devils remanded to their abyss.
Alright, got the fat loot. And 2 people have gained a new thing about them. Let's see what it is. A ruins tactician. Okay, good. So his damage goes up when he's in the ruins. Ugh. Okay, so she cannot pray or flagellate herself in, basically in the church. She gets stress resistance. Yeah, ugh. Alright, but cool thing is that both of them are sort of pretty low on stress. They're people though, to do something about that. Okay, so now we see that we've moved on. This is now week 2, so now we can use a tavern in the Abbey. And our characters are now level 1. go ahead and take a look at what we're going to need to do to lower their stress. Reynold is God-fearing, so he has to pray at the Abbey. Harcourt will not pray, so good news is they're not going to get in each other's way, basically.
The cobwebs have been dusted, the pews set straight. The Abbey calls to the faithful.
Okay, so Reynold is going to pray. So notice that this is going to cost you resources. This is what I'm talking about trying to lessen how much stress you take. Right, Harcourt is going to take this last spot here. Notice that this is not one of my characters. This is the caretaker. He is going to get in your way at first. He's going to fill in these slots, basically, and he says really hilarious things depending upon what he's doing. Yeah. It's not until you get to, I believe, this upgrade level for these that you open up an extra slot here for you to put somebody. And when you get to that point, he's not going to be a problem for you anymore. I am not going to spend money to upgrade these yet. I do recommend that that after you've sufficiently upgraded the guild hall and the blacksmith to go ahead and do that, or at least if these resources don't conflict. So as you see down here, we got 22 busts, 11 portraits, 4 deeds, and 16 crests. And this takes busts and crests. So I'm gonna make sure we confirm this. Alright.
Fresh kegs, cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
Love it. Alright, so here's the same kind of upgrades that you'd get for the Abbey, basically, is to reduce the cost, or increase the stress recovery, reduce the cost, add a slot, and then same thing again, basically. Don't need to really put anybody in the tavern. So still cannot open the Nomad Wagon, the Survivalist, the Guild Hall, or the Blacksmith. So let's see if we can get some new heroes, because we're going to try to make a new team of 4. And we have gotten a good draw of classes to choose from. So characters that are nothing like these, basically, that we already have. Let's take a look at what they have. Okay, this guy has issues with resisting stress when fighting humans. Interesting, and he's a bounty hunter. His crit chances up for melee. Collect bounties, a very nice melee attack, because you can be in those first 3 columns and hit people with it. You can mark people. You can knock people back 2. That's nice. Finish him? Alright, this is a class I've never gotten to play before. That's kind of cool. And he can stun monsters. Oh no, he does more damage on stun monsters. Oh my. Alrighty. Mesnage, welcome to the club.
The thrill of the hunt. The promise of payment.
Jester. Does not handle light very well. Her crit's lower too. I don't know if it's a he or she, but Harvest. It causes bleed, it hits 2 people in the middle. This one here is a solo, it lowers everyone's accuracy. More bleeding. And an inspiring tune. Which is, see, this is one of those stress heals I was talking about. That's useful. Alright, so yeah, grab this Jester. If for nothing...
He will be laughing still at the end.
If for nothing too, when we get the guild hall, we'll be able to buy these other abilities. That's going to make this character very useful. So, alright. Now, We have 2 occultists. Let's see. Which one's better? Stress resistance and ruins. Fear of Eldritch. This is not good for a guy who's normally good at fighting Eldritch, because you're going to see here he gets an increase, So I almost don't want to get him. Let's see what the other one had. Weakening Curse. Oh wait, let's see this first. Intense craving for alcohol. Oh no, that means that we probably can't put him in the bar at the tavern. And he can only flagellate for stress relief. Okay, but he's got hard skinned, which is good. He's got the really cool heal. This heal's interesting because it can do 0 to 10, which means there's a possibility of not healing at all. The difficulty though is that it also causes the target that you use it on to bleed some. So you've got to lose some blood to gain some healing. So this can be really good, or it can hurt you. So Weakening Curse is good. Hands from the Abyss causes stun, but he's got to be one of those first 2 spots. Then he's got Demon Pull, which is great if you're trying to pull somebody towards you. Damn, it's tough. Oh, but he's got the Fear of Eldritch. No, it's gonna have to be the other guy then. Damn, at least I got the heal ability. Alright. Just make sure it's him. Yeah, this guy. The party.
To fight the Abyss, one must know it.
Alright, so. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this episode here. We'll pick up again. We're gonna do the next quest with our group B. Though I'm going to be looking for an 8th character, hopefully after that episode. So, good night. Thanks for watching. If you liked this movie, if you liked this game, this episode, you like the presentation of it and how I've been handling things and explaining things, please click like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.